Well, Bonnie, we made it. Once
Yes.
again, we made it to the end of the podcast. And by the end, I mean the entree, the main course, the main event, Undertaker versus Sting at WrestleMania 30, whatever. It's time to talk about this week's movie. It kind of sucks.
I don't know. Again, if it was in an airport, I'd be good with it.
Wow, you know what? Now that we're done with this episode of the Pope film, looking back, I think, this has been a pretty damn good episode.
This has been a good episode.
Yeah, I concur.
So until next week.
Hold on. I guess we can talk a little bit more about this shit sandwich. And look, I just want to apologize for this week's film. It's a Netflix original, and right there, that should have been a big red flag, you know? I mean, Netflix, creators of Fuller House on the Ranch, I should have heeded the warning sign.
The Ranch. Right. We've watched some of The Ranch. It's that 1880s show.
Yeah, because it's got the both of them.
It's got two of them as regulars, and then a lot of them have just popped up.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's got three of them. Fez is on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Fez is now a Mexican.
Well, Fez is probably being bumped up to star now that Danny Masterson has been removed from the show because of sexual abuse allegations.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yay, Scientology.
Yep. So, but the previews and the build-up for this week's film did a really good job of letting people come to the conclusion that, like, oh shit, this is a big-budget Hollywood blockbuster. But one that you can only see on Netflix. That's so cool. I can't wait. But, it's okay.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
There's nothing to write home about.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
It is Alien Nation.
Yeah. Basically just like a reboot of that, but with Will Smith.
And orcs.
Yeah. This week on the Pope on Film, we are discussing the late 2017 Netflix original film, Will Smith's Bright. It's good. It's not great. The director says that this is his Star Wars, and it's like, okay, you need to calm your ass down.
Yes.
So what I want to do here is talk Netflix.
Okay.
Because in 2013, Netflix announced their plans to put less of an emphasis on gobbling up content and rolled out their big, expensive plan to spend roughly $87.34601 bajillion, billion, gazillion dollars on new original content. The idea being that the more original content they have, then the less money they have to throw away in petty fights with Hulu and Amazon Prime to get the rights to shit like Home Improvement or Seinfeld or B-Movie. Yeah. And that concludes our graduation ceremonies and begins your career at Hunex Industries. Hunex, a division of Hunesco and a part of the Hexagon Group. Okay. Okay, I'm done with B-movie references now. Bunny. Yeah, no, I'm done. Bunny.
Yes.
So speaking of Netflix, I'm not sure if you know this or not, because it's kind of not everybody knows, but basically, honey begins when our valiant pollen jocks bring the nectar to the hive, where our top secret formula is automatically color corrected, scent adjusted, and bubble contoured into this soothing sweet syrup with its distinctive golden glow you all know as
honey.
It took you a little bit of a time, but thank you. That. I'll try to keep the B-movie quotes from here on out to a minimum. I'm not saying I'll stop, because I won't.
No, stop.
I won't. but I'll try and keep them to a minimum. So it's been a few years since 2013, and there what seemed to be insane plan. So I thought that now it's 2018, for Christ's sake. Now is a good time to just sort of step back and look at the entity known as Netflix original content, because it's been like 5 years since Netflix's bizarre gun-ho, never going to work plan for filling Netflix with original content. So let's take a look at Netflix and their original content and see how they're doing.
Okay.
I think they're doing good with TV shows. I'm not saying they're great.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, sure, there's The Ranch and Fuller House and Chelsea and that Kathy Bates Pot sitcom that I'm not sure anyone has ever watched. Have you seen the Kathy Bates Pot sitcom?
Of course.
Have you seen it?
We have. We watched through the whole thing.
Okay. Have you seen it sober?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And it's meh.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. I figured like Kathy Bates' Pot sitcom would be real successful if it was right after The Big Bang Theory, but without The Big Bang Theory.
Yes, you know what? Fucking yes. That is exactly what I was thinking as I watched this show. It's like, this show is pretty much what Steve says about The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Where it feels like they are more making fun of people who smoke pot, than being a real pot show.
Yeah. So not all of Netflix's TV shows are great. I would even say that the majority of Netflix's TV shows are not that good.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, on top
Iron
of it,
Fist,
this is not what I got Netflix for.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what pisses me off. Now that you put Blockbuster out of business, now you're going to leave us hanging with nothing.
Yeah, but yeah. So Netflix has a lot of original TV show shit. Chelsea, Lilyhammer, Iron Fist. But what you have to do is, when you're talking about the Netflix original TV shows, what you got to do is look at Netflix as a TV network. There's a lot of shit on NBC I hate, and shit that I will never see. But NBC has the right amount of shows that I love. NBC has SNL, NBC has Superstore, NBC has The Good Place, NBC has Great News, and so as long as a network has a few powerhouses, then they can afford to have a bunch of fucking clunkers.
Yeah.
And Jesus fucking Christ, Netflix has clunkers, but Jessica Jones, Orange is the New Black, Stranger Things, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, BoJack Horseman, Glow. Netflix is doing really good as a TV network.
Yeah.
Really, like, surprisingly good as a TV network. They've got some really good, high-quality shows that make up for all the other shit. But, as a movie studio, they fucking suck.
Yeah.
Because they have, I pulled up a list of all of Netflix's original movies, and there were a lot more than I was aware of. And a lot of them suck. Death Note.
Well, a lot of them were Adam Sandler.
Yep. Death Note, which Deanna, my niece Deanna, forces people to watch on account of how horrible it is.
Oh, really? Yeah? I was going to check that out sooner or later.
Yeah, no, I heard it's horrible. I will eventually be watching it too, but only because that's how much I love that horrible first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film. Basically, he's just the Green Goblin, but in a different suit,
Okay.
Yeah. He's the guy who plays, like, the monster or whatever. Coin Heist, based on the Netflix original movie based on a teen novel that no one has ever bought. The new and really horrible, dumb horror movie, The Babysitter, really shitty. Sandy Wexler, of course, and their entire partnership with Adam Sandler. And I'm sorry for bringing up Adam Sandler again. I know that this gives you uncomfortable feels.
That and the B movie.
Yeah, when the name Adam Sandler is mentioned. A Christmas Prince? Like, what, is Netflix wanting to get into the Hallmark business? Like, that's some weird shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're going to be the Hallmark Channel now. Here's a Christmas Prince. And this week's film, Bright.
Yes.
So, Netflix is doing really good if Netflix is a TV station. As a movie studio, they're doing really shitty. But I've talked to Emerald and Amber have already seen this film and have seen it numerous times. And Emerald said she liked it. And talking over this movie with Emerald, the way that what I found myself saying is, the movie is good and it's all right and it's entertaining, and I don't particularly like it, but I like what it represents.
What did it represent for you?
Netflix makes a lot of shitty movies, and this seems to be their first attempt of trying to make an actual movie. Like, this film could easily come out in theaters in April or May or August or October, and
basically be your basic shitty Will Smith movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
So maybe we need to question exactly how bad they did here.
Is it a bad movie? Like, it's not a bad movie, but it's good for a Will Smith movie.
Yes.
You know, it's exactly where I expected the quality of a Will Smith film to be. But when I'm thinking Will Smith films, I'm thinking 20th Century Fox, $120 million budget film that comes out in the summer. And that's what this movie is. It was just made by Netflix. So to me, this movie represents Netflix finally saying, hey, I think we could actually be a movie studio and not just make these shitty Adam Sandler films. I think maybe we can actually make movies. So I think that, like, Bright, to me, is like the first step towards, like, okay, we can make big films now.
Well, we'll see, because, like, Disney has gotten so fucking strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how some of the major studios are holding on, let alone a new upstart, you know?
Yeah. So
I don't know how Fox and Sony and these other studios are surviving.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Well, they're not.
Everything is a goddamn Disney movie.
Yeah. That's why it's almost kind of sad to see, oh, the DC Cinematic Universe is dead. Oh, the Dark Universe is dead. Oh, you were our last hopes.
Yes.
To defeat the Disney monster. So, this movie came out worldwide on Netflix on December 22nd, 2017. The film cost $90 million to make, which makes it the most expensive Netflix movie ever made. But how much of that went to fucking Will Smith?
Yes, a lot.
A lot of that went to fucking Will Smith. And it shows. Again, this film could have been released in theaters and made a lot of money, and I think that that's the point, in that I sincerely believe that this film was made for the sole reason of, look at this. Netflix has Hollywood quality content. Ooh, shiny. Look how shiny this movie is. It's so shiny. The film was created solely to give Netflix the illusion of being a major Hollywood player. And as such, the quality was inconsequential.
Yes.
Like, as long as people see this and think, look, we're making Hollywood caliber blockbusters on Netflix, it doesn't matter how good the film is. and it looks like I guess the film was a success since now the film it has quickly become one of the most watched bit of content ever for Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
Even over Luke Cage?
Yeah. I said one of the. It's up there in the top 5. It's not. I don't believe it's the most watched, but it's definitely one of the most watched. Personally, I liked the one part near the beginning where the orc cop, was it the orc cop? Yeah. I liked the part in the beginning where the orc cop said, "Little gusty out there today, wasn't it, comrades? We're going to hit a sunflower patch about 6 miles from here tomorrow. What do you think, Buzzy boy? Are you bee enough?" Gotcha! Wasn't expecting that one. Then I kicked her in the pussy. So the film, I saw Dave Chappelle's 2 new comedy specials. They were really good. The film was directed by creepy-looking fuckboy David Ayer. Once again, this guy comes into our life because he also wrote and directed our previous episode, Suicide Squad.
Oh, yes.
A.K.A. Hot Topic the movie, which also starred Will Smith.
Hot Topic the movie?
Yeah, Hot Topic the movie, basically. That's what Suicide Squad was. Hot Topic the movie. And it's interesting because Ike Barnholtz is in this film. He was the crooked cop who had all the good lines and was killed 30 minutes into it. He had the big mustache.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he was also
reminded me of that Lucha Underground wrestler.
Yeah. He has a small part in Glow now, apparently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I haven't seen Glow yet because I got kids, and I know that it's a bit of sex. I'm all right with watching violence around the kids because kids know that that's fake, but sex, that's where I draw the line. So I haven't watched Glow yet around the kids. But yeah, I hear that he has a small part in that as a creepy wrestler.
Which is what he is.
Yeah. Oh, and also to tie the room together like a good rug, that wrestler also has gotten so popular that he now has his shirts selling at Hot Topics throughout America.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah. And it's him, and he's got the sunglasses and the open jacket, and he's all hairy, and he's sucking on the lollipop, and the shirt says like world's creepiest or something like that, creepy wrestler or something. Yeah. So good for that guy. Apparently that guy's having a moment.
Yes. Good for him.
Yeah, but it's weird that these two guys who were just in Suicide Squad together are now in David fucking Ayer's new film.
Well, it does work that way a lot because then you get to know each other. You feel like you can, call, just out of the blue, that kind of thing. Yeah.
The film stars Will Smith as a Will Smith type character. Ooh, what a shocker! What range! What amazing range! The film also stars young Owen Lars.
Young Owen Lars. Is that
Remember when we were all watching the prequels and then you finally see young Owen Lars and you're like, holy shit, he looks just like the guy from the fucking first Star Wars movie. How did they even do that? Is he a clone? Is he a robot? Did they computer generate his face? He looks just like the guy. This is fucking amazing. That guy, young Owen Lars, is the fucking orc partner.
Oh.
You just can't tell because he's got so much fucking makeup on.
Yeah.
Speaking of so much fucking makeup on, they did show this movie in select theaters in New York and LA, meaning that this film is already on a short list of Oscar contenders.
Oh, no, that cannot happen. We cannot. No. No, I fucking refuse. Living in the age of Trump, I will not have Bright win a fucking Oscar.
It's going to win an Oscar, but you have to realize, you know what else was up for an Oscar? Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah?
So Bright's going to be up for Oscars, but it's going to be all that crap that doesn't count. It's going to be best makeup, best sound effects, best editing, best I don't know, elfish choreography. All of those like technical ones that nobody gives a crap about, that's going to be Bright. It's at least going to be up for best makeup.
Yeah. And how can it be Bright since it hasn't played in the theater?
It has. I just said it played in select theaters in New York and LA just so that it can be up for Oscars. And it probably will. Netflix will win a stupid technical Oscar for this shit.
This world is insane.
Yeah. So yeah, David fucking Ayer calls Bright his Star Wars, and he's already working on the sequel. Will Smith is already attached to it. They're already working on it. He's working on basically the Bright universe now. So what that means is
put up with a lot of this shit.
Yeah, what it means is that Bright will be the first ever Netflix movie to get a sequel, unless Netflix finally reads my letters and starts working on Sandy Wexler 2 Into the Time Sphere.
No.
Sandy Wexler and his best friend, a talking robot dog, voiced by Chris Rock, get a magical time sphere and start going through time and meeting famous people and getting into wacky adventures. Let me tell you what you should do. You should go back home. When you get home tonight, you go into your closet and you put on the rat costume to remind yourself of where you came from. That's probably not a good Sandy Wexler quote, but I honestly might be the only person in America who has ever tried to reference Sandy Wexler.
Yes. And you definitely deserve points for that.
Thank you. Speaking of points, the film concerns magic, not Sandy Wexler 2 Into the Time Sphere. That's just my own fan fiction. But this week's film, Bright, concerns magic and a prophecy, and the film opens up with a prophecy. The great prophecy, quote, "Only a Bright can control the power of the wand." Gee, I wonder which person who might star in the film might be a Bright. No one could have ever seen that coming. What a twist. But you got to remember that there's the great prophecy, and then there's also the less great prophecy, which goes like this, quote, You've got a rain advisory today, and as you all know, bees cannot fly in rain, so be careful. I got a couple of reports of root beer being poured on us. Murphy's in a hole because of it, just babbling like a cicada. I'm pretty sure that might be it. I might have some more, but I'm pretty sure that's it. So let's sum up the stats, because we were just going through the stats. Will Smith and a guy who made Suicide Squad basically got a Training Day / end of watch / standard pot boiler buddy cop action drama, and carelessly shoved a random assortment of sci-fi fantasy tropes into it. But you get so distracted with the elves and the fairies, and there's one scene where you just see just the night sky in LA, and if you pay really close attention, the moon is full, and you can just barely see the shadow of a dragon.
Oh yeah?
Flying past the moon. You know how I noticed that? I didn't. The Netflix audio description told that to me. We now see a shot of LA at night. The shadow of a dragon flies past the moon as we see, and I'm like, oh shit, let me rewind that. Was there a dragon? Holy shit, a tiny little dragon. Thank you, random narrator. That's going to help me with the podcast. So you get so distracted by the sci-fi fantasy stuff and the orcs and the elves and all of that that I think, and the explosions and how shiny everything is, that it's easy to forget that if you remove all of that, this is a cop movie we have all seen a million times before.
A lot, yes.
Natasha came in near the end of the film, and the little orc is about to kill Will Smith's partner, and he's not sure if he can do it. And Natasha goes, "What the hell am I watching?" And I say, "Oh, you know what you're watching? Zootopia." Because the same thing happens. Remember when the gangster is going to kill Nick and Judy? But then it turns out that the gangster has a child, and the child was saved by Judy earlier in the film. So now the child is saving the cop. That's what's happening right now in Bright.
Yeah.
Basically, they just got like Training Day and added orcs.
Yeah.
But the film is fun. It's funny at times, but it's entertaining. It's good, but it's not great. The Onion AV Club said that this is a really good film to have on and semi-watch while you're also on your computer.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So I was watching it today, and Emerald's like, "You're watching the film today?" And I'm like, "Well, I've already watched it a couple of times before, but this is the first time I'm watching it and paying attention." Like, this is a really easy film to just be on Facebook during.
Yeah.
Or do other things and have it on. And something tells me that maybe like 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road, I might like this film more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think like it's a good film, but I don't know. Natasha wants to see it because it looks stupid and she wants to make fun of it. And then she puts it on, and then we're both making fun of it. And then later, maybe she shows it to Deanna, and Deanna wants to see it, and we're all making fun of it. I could see myself like a year from now liking this film a bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe like a year or two after having seen it and made fun of it a couple more times, I could see myself liking this film more. Like one of those films I have to watch a couple of more times.
Yeah.
To fully get a grasp on. But the problem I have is it's part cop drama and part buddy cop film and part sci-fi fantasy, but it's not a full film.
No.
Plus, let's be real honest here. Any film that features Joe Rogan and Margaret Cho cannot be fucking trusted. What the hell fucking
I agree.
The film stars Will Smith and who else? Ike Barnholtz, Joe Rogan, and Margaret Cho. Like, what the fuck? Were you just drunkenly IMDbing one night and said, "This is my cast"? Okay. And yeah, it's just Alien Nation.
It is.
It's just Alien Nation. It's just a modern reboot of Alien Nation.
And no, it's not bad. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, it's entertaining enough. It's good for a Will Smith film.
Yeah,
but you don't expect a lot from Will Smith films. No, Bella, I was gesturing for you to come in here.
Why is Will Smith not aging?
Possibly because he's black. Because African Americans don't age the same as other races. At least that's what I'm always told by other people.
I've not heard that.
I have heard that. But let's talk about racism, because
Okay.
Emerald liked the movie, and I thought it was okay. Amber was very uncomfortable about it. the movie made her uncomfortable because she's like, okay, so this whole film is just a racial allegory, and these orcs are the blacks, and these characters are the whites, and okay, I get it. And yeah, the way that people treat these orcs makes me really uncomfortable, and I don't like that. So she didn't like the film. I saw it a different way. My theory about this film is I think that this would be great for minorities.
Okay.
My theory is that if there were these other species that lived beside us, these elves and these fairies and these orcs, wouldn't that either completely kill or extremely dissipate racism?
I'm going to go with it's going to give us more people. I don't think it would dissipate shit.
Yeah, but like you see white people going, oh, you can't trust these orcs. And then you see like black people and Will Smith like, oh, I hate these orcs. These orcs are horrible. And then like during their first morning meeting back together, this little Mexican woman leans over to the orc and makes fun of him. And there's something when I'm watching the film, it's like, I bet being a Mexican wouldn't be that bad if there's fucking orcs everywhere. And suddenly,
you might have a point.
Suddenly, white people would be like, oh, I hate you Muslims. Oh, wait, there's an orc walking by. Oh, man, I hate those orcs. And then the Muslim would be like, I hate them too, stupid orcs. And the white person would be like, hey, high five! We both hate these stupid orcs. And then they both just start throwing rocks at them.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh man, you Muslims are all right. Hey, let's go and kick an orc. And so, like, if there were these other races, then I could see, like, blacks and whites and Mexicans getting together and saying, like, oh man, I hate those fucking elves. Yeah. And so these other races would kind of take away a lot of the hatred that we all feel. That, yeah, there would be more people to hate, but more people would be hating these species than hating their own kind.
Yeah, true.
I think that it would be great for Mexicans. I think being a Mexican wouldn't be like the scandal it is today. I saw this as a positive thing. Amber saw it as a negative.
Yeah. But
also, Amber spends all of her time with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is named Jaden.
Yeah.
And he's a really nice kid, and he's really sweet, and he's really kind, and yada, yada, yada. He's in the high school wrestling team.
Uh-huh.
So he works out a lot, and he, watches his health, his weight, and this and that. But one day he came over, and he's like, oh, I'm exhausted. Why are you exhausted? Oh, I just really blasted it on leg day today. And I swear to God, he said that like 6 months ago, and I have not stopped saying it. Like, that phrase was so horribly wonderful that I am just never letting that go.
Yeah.
Hey, can I go hang out with Jaden at his house? I don't know. Did he blast it on leg day today? Really worried about the legs. Hope he didn't blast it. Really concerned about your boyfriend's legs, Amber. Sure hope he didn't blast it on leg day.
Maybe he learned his lesson.
Hey, can you get me some water? Yeah, give the man water. He probably blasted it. Was it leg day? Jaden loved Bright.
Yeah.
Jaden loved Bright, but he would. That's all I've got for this week's film. It's an Alien Nation reboot starring Will Smith. It's okay. It's pretty good, but it's nothing to write home about.
No. If you've seen Alien Nation and a few other movies, you've seen this.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about next week.
Sure.
I have a list of films.
I heard that.
Yeah, it has changed a little bit. At first, I started gathering films for us to watch, including there's so many that may or may not be on the cough. Oscar contenders, serious films, A Ghost Story, which is either the greatest or worst film you'll ever see. I, Tonya, starring Harley Quinn. The Disaster Artist, which we'll have to do really, really soon. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbings, Missouri, which is supposed to be good. And others. I have a really bizarre list of other things I want to do. For example, the Royal Rumble is at the end of the month, and I'm always a big fan of that. And I just thought, you know what? We haven't done a wrestling thing in a really long time. Maybe not. Kazam is on Hulu.
Okay.
I never saw.
Well, we don't have Hulu.
Oh, you don't have Hulu? Well, I can get Kazam. That's not a problem. Rogue One is on Netflix. I never saw Rogue One. I never wanted to.
And I've tried watching it on Netflix, and I just drift away because it doesn't feel like Star Wars.
It doesn't feel like Star Wars, number one. And number two, the way that the Star Wars series already is, there's no way for this film to not end in a way where everyone dies. That's just the way that you can't have the beginning of Star Wars without all of these characters dying. So I'm already going into the film trepidatiously because it's like, oh, everybody's going to die. They have to die in order for Princess Leia to get the information, and I have no interest in seeing this film when everyone's going to die. Also on Netflix, Catwoman.
Catwoman, I've never gotten through that.
Yeah, neither have I.
Tried a couple of times.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Okay, because I was also thinking of the 2018 Rose Parade.
Yeah.
Also, Boss Baby and The Secret Life of Pets, which Eleanor is obsessed with. Boss Baby is actually a pretty good movie, and there's some really weird parts, like there's a scene about sucking it, and then there's a scene where they're talking about the baby Jesus. It's a really bizarre film. And it has its moments where it's definitely not for kids. And The Secret Life of Pets is a movie about a creepy dude.
Creepy.
Yeah, the star of The Secret Life of Pets is the dog Max, which is voiced by Louis C.K. So I have a bunch of movies lined up, but then. And also the Apple. I wanted to. The next episode was absolutely. We were going to finally do the Apple. We were going to do it, and I was excited because we were going to do the Apple. But then Jeannie inadvertently picked the next movie.
Okay.
I didn't tell her this, but I was talking with her, and I said, "Hey, Jeannie, can you let Bunny know that I've been collecting some films, and they're on the Cough and they're really good, and you should check that out." And she's like, okay, I'm already worried that these films are going to be horrible. And I'm like, oh no, these are really good films. These are good, like Oscar contenders, high quality, high caliber films. And the My Little Pony movie.
Yes.
And she said, oh my God, that's great. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, no, seriously, I love My Little Ponies. I was just brushing my Little Pony's manes this morning. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm not going to tell you this, but I think you just picked our next film. So next week we're watching My Little Pony the movie.
My Little Pony the movie. That's it. It's not, equestrian.
No, My Little Pony the movie. It actually might be good because what they were going for this is basically like the Lego movie.
Uh-huh.
So this is a Hollywood studio getting some fairly famous voiceover people and trying to just here's this series with these really popular characters, and let's just make it a really fun, funny movie that's for kids and adults. And Maxwell has already seen it like twice, and he really, really likes it. I haven't seen it at all because I don't give a shit about My Little Pony.
Yeah.
But it might be good. But then again, I said that about Bright. So next week we're watching My Little Pony the movie.
Okay.
And for homework, we're watching a 4-minute video, Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Yes.
Next week, we also have a lot lined up. I have a new historical approximations.
Good.
That I'm very excited about. We're going to be talking about Oregon and in what is definitely going to be a new reoccurring segment. I will be discussing a section of the book Heaven is Real and Fun.
Okay.
I started reading it today, and literally, I was like, shit, I'm never going to get this book finished because I already have a huge amount of stuff to talk about with the first paragraph. I'm never going to finish this book because there's so much here. So next week, a lot lined up. Also, next week, we're going to be talking about the new Trump book, Fire and Fury.
Yeah.
Or, as we're calling it in the book world, Heaven. Oh my God. There's a scandalous book about Trump coming out that everyone wants. Thank you, baby Jesus. Finally, my prayer went through. Everyone wants a book from the bookstore.
Yes.
I've been praying to J.K. Rowling for like a year now. And those prayers weren't getting through. So finally, somebody up there heard me. Thank you.
J.K. Rowling is a little standoffish.
Yeah. Jowling, Cowling, Rowling, I believe is her full name. She actually tweeted that was her full name. Yeah. So that's canon. That's canon. So that's next week. We have an exciting week next week. And be sure and let Jeannie know that our next film is My Little Pony the movie.
I certainly will.
For her. She picked it. So if this is bad, it's on her. It's important to note that. I'll take the blame for Will Smith and the orcs, but this one's on her.
Yes. Okay.
And also, you should check out Netflix audio descriptions.
Yes.
Films are even a film you've seen a million times is 100% different with a narrator. It's amazing, and I'm in love with it. So that's next week. And now that we're done with this episode, and we're looking back, looking back at this episode, I gotta say, it's been a pretty damn good episode.
I think this has been a damn good episode, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So until next week, I